Story. The DA in Gauteng says Premier David Makhura should rule out the reinstatement of Bandile Masuku as Health MEC, even if the SIU clears him of corruption. Jack Bloom from the DA joins me now. Hi there, Mr. Bloom. Just tell us why you think that possible open door for him to be returned, when the Premier said he actually has been a good leader up until now, should be firmly shut.
Well, I think we don't need an SIU report to tell us that he failed to exercise the political oversight to prevent this massive corruption. And let me remind people that it's 2 billion rands worth of irregular spending, and that inferior PPE was bought that put the lives of health workers at risk. So I think it's a matter of political accountability. Obviously, we need a full investigation, and these investigations should be made public as well, to determine whether Dr. Masuku was directly involved with corruption. But I think it's very clear when it comes to political accountability, he actually should have been fired long ago, and there should not be any question at all of him being reinstated.
What is your response to the news that he's absolutely outraged and is planning to fight back because he says he is innocent of any corruption? He may have made some mistakes with the rules, but in terms of corruption, you know, the report that even he commissioned has found him, he says, not guilty.
Well, I don't see how a report that he's commissioned can find him not guilty when it probably doesn't have access to all the information. I don't know how they could determine that. Even the Premier has said that he's waiting for the SIU final report, which I think we should all do that as well. But look, it's Dr. Masuku's right to challenge it in court. But honestly, from the political accountability point of view, he failed. And he cannot deny that. And I think that Gauteng Premier David Makhura should actually go ahead and appoint a new MEC and a new head of department, because the former head of department had to resign because he was facing disciplinary action over this. And let's finally get this department right. But I don't know why the Premier is holding the door open. It seems to me that he's trying to protect his friend and political ally in the ANC.
Look, he has fired him, and yes, we know we're talking about the possibility that if found innocent of any corruption in the SIU, he will be possibly returned. But do you think that this marks something of a development where we're seeing someone fired for issues around political accountability, fired before there's any final judgment? So in a sense, raising the bar, saying politicians have to be accountable. If it happened under your watch, whether you had your fingers in the till or not, you've got to go.
Well, yes, I think there's some progress there, but it's measured against a very low bar, quite frankly, because overseas ministers would resign before they were fired over this. They'd have some shame about it, and I think that's the problem that we have in South Africa. You know, I remember that Premier Makhura failed to fire Kwadani Mhlangu over the Life of Sedimeni tragedy, and they had to wait for the findings of a commission before, you know, she finally left. And I hope he's learned from that. But I think that as far as political accountability goes, Dr. Masuku has failed. He should accept that. He can obviously challenge the findings of a report about whether he was directly involved in corruption or not. But I think we need to look ahead and get a new political head to fix up this department once and for all.